Have you seen Nicki Minaj losing her mind?
She's beefed with every female artist.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, her beef with Jay-Z is personal because there's money involved.
Police raids, quiet backroom negotiations, a billion-dollar empire feeling the walls close in, and then one spark. Words tied to Beyoncé ignite whispers that Jay-Z built more than a business, that he built a fortress of influence, money, and silence. At the same time, Nicki Minaj steps forward swinging, turning a private dispute into a public detonation. This isn't shade. It's a chain reaction, ripping through music, politics, and the Carter legacy. And the internet, it can't look away. But before we dive into the firestorm, understand this. None of it started overnight. This wasn't some random Tuesday tweet that spiraled out of control. What we're witnessing is years of tension, broken expectations, and deals that never quite felt settled. We're talking about promises worth tens of millions. We're talking about power so concentrated it can open doors or quietly close them. And when the lid finally blew, it didn't crack, it exploded.
Speaking of disrespect, have you seen Nicki Minaj losing her mind?
She's beefed with every female artist.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, her beef with Jay-Z is personal because there's money involved.
Yeah.
So
that's different.
And we haven't heard too many people talk out about it, but apparently, like, what Nicki is alleging is that Jay-Z owes her tens of millions of dollars simply because when she had the exclusive.
So let's rewind. Back in 2015, Jay-Z unveiled what looked like a revolution, a streaming platform owned by artists, a space where musicians wouldn't scrape for pennies while tech giants cashed in. That vision became Tidal, and when it launched, it wasn't subtle. The stage was stacked: Madonna, Daft Punk, Kanye West, Beyoncé, Nicki, global icons shoulder to shoulder, presenting unity like a new world order for music. Each artist was said to receive roughly 3% ownership. 3% sounds small until you calculate it against a company valued in the hundreds of millions. Suddenly that slice becomes generational wealth, 30 million, maybe more. Dynasty money. But the dream hit resistance. Tidal struggled to compete with Spotify and Apple Music. Momentum slowed, the revolution softened. Eventually, the platform changed hands. And that's where the tension sharpened. Nicki alleged that when the dust settled, the payout didn't reflect the promise. She pointed to tens of millions she believed were owed, and when that kind of money is involved, it stops being business, it becomes personal. Nicki didn't whisper, she erupted. She went live, she posted, she listed grievances like an indictment, she accused Jay-Z of reshaping hip-hop, football, basketball, of bending entire systems through influence.
The whole list.
She said, dear hashtag Jay-Z, you ruined hip-hop, you ruined football, you ruined basketball, you ruined touring, you ruined Instagram, you ruined Twitter. The jig is up. All of this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. And she also is saying, she's mentioning Desiree, who is one of Jay-Z's.
You might as well say Jay-Z's the head of Doge. Jay-Z invaded Gaza. You might as well just come on, add some more to that, Nicki. Don't stop there.
Yeah, she says there's a lot here, man.
Jay-Z's the reason for processed foods. Okay, he's the reason that there's artificial dyes in the candy. What else?
She questioned why Lil Wayne, New Orleans royalty, wasn't front and center when the Super Bowl hit his city, pointing toward Jay-Z's NFL partnership through Roc Nation. To her, it wasn't coincidence. It was control. And then the story took a turn nobody expected. In late 2025, Nicki stepped into politics with force. Not a subtle nod, an all-in alignment with Donald Trump. She appeared at Turning Point USA's America Fest, speaking openly about faith and freedom. She stood on stage at a Treasury summit, praising Trump, pledging donations, brushing off backlash like it fueled her. A photo of them holding hands spread like wildfire. She later explained on the Katie Miller podcast that her support came from empathy, relating to media attacks and public scrutiny. It wasn't policy, she said, it was solidarity. Still, the image fractured her fan base. At the 2026 Grammy Awards, host Trevor Noah joked about her alignment. The crowd laughed. Nicki didn't. She went to X and unleashed fury. At the Grammys, at political leaders, at cultural institutions, her posts dominated timelines, generating staggering engagement. She wasn't in the building, but she owned the moment. Some defended her, others condemned her. Amber Rose argued she had the right to her views.
You don't think that she should be getting as much backlash as she is?
No, she shouldn't. We live in a free country. She has the right to her own political opinion, just like everyone else does.
A lot of people feel like because of her fan base being like largely, LGBTQ, that
she didn't say anything wrong. She didn't say anything about the LGBTQ plus community at all.
Right, but her siding, kind of with the Trump administration, or
Joy Reid criticized her sharply. Jasmine Crockett accused her of selling out. Billie Eilish indirectly contrasted her stance on stage. Followers dropped by the hundreds of thousands. Nightclubs booed her tracks. Others doubled down in loyalty. Through it all, one name kept surfacing in her posts: Jay-Z. In her narrative, he wasn't just a rival. He was the architect behind the curtain. Meanwhile, pressure mounted around the Carters from every direction. A decade-long paternity claim resurfaced in headlines. A man named Rymir Satterthwaite insisted Jay-Z was his father. Pushing for a DNA test through multiple legal filings, courts dismissed the case with prejudice, closing the door definitively. Legally, It ended there. Public curiosity, though, lingered in the air like humidity before a storm. Then came Kanye. In 2025, Kanye West, now known simply as Ye, detonated another firestorm. This time, his social media tirades crossed a line many believed should never be approached. The targets weren't industry rivals or former collaborators. They were the children of Beyoncé and Jay-Z. The backlash was immediate. Swift, unforgiving. Beyoncé's father, Matthew Knowles, stepped forward with firm words defending his grandchildren. His message wasn't loud, but it was clear. Family comes first. From another corner of hip-hop's history, Suge Knight condemned the attacks outright. Even Tina Knowles entered the conversation, posting messages that many read as pointed, protective, and unmistakably maternal. An apology from Ye briefly appeared online, a digital white flag, but within the hour it unraveled. Deleted posts, new comments, more confusion. The cycle repeated itself in real time, and the industry watched with a mixture of disbelief and exhaustion. And just when it felt like the present was chaotic enough, the past resurfaced. The 2014 elevator incident, one of pop culture's most dissected moments, returned to the headlines. Grainy surveillance footage from the Standard Hotel showed Solange Knowles confronting Jay-Z after the Met Gala. At the time, it sent shockwaves through music and celebrity culture. Speculation ran wild, narratives spiraled. Years later, fresh accounts of a red carpet exchange involving designer Rachel Roy reignited debate. Old theories found new oxygen. Social media did what it always does. It replayed, reframed, and rejudged. Jay-Z had already addressed the conflict years earlier on his deeply personal album 444. In measured tones, he described a single disagreement magnified by cameras and public fascination, a family moment turned global spectacle. He didn't deny tension. He contextualized it, but some moments never fully fade. They live on in cultural memory, ready to be summoned whenever the spotlight intensifies. Through lawsuits, political crossfire, revived scandals, and relentless online scrutiny, the Carters have mostly done one thing: stayed quiet. No dramatic press conferences, no explosive interviews. Just work, heads down, focused, building, and what they've built is monumental. Jay-Z's journey from Brooklyn's Marcy Projects to becoming hip-hop's first billionaire isn't just a success story, it's mythology. 25 Grammy wins, more than any other rapper. Businesses that stretch from music to sports to luxury ventures. Rock Nation standing as a global powerhouse in entertainment and management, and Beyoncé, 35 Grammy Awards, the most in history. Stadium tours that feel more like cultural movements, breaking barriers on country charts, redefining what artistic control looks like in the modern era. She didn't just dominate genres, she reshaped them. Together, they built more than careers. They built an empire that extends beyond music into fashion, film, activism, and influence. A brand synonymous with excellence, precision, and control. But even empires feel tremors. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Jay-Z once spoke about marriage as a choice, not a fairy tale, but a fight. A decision to stay, to grow, to break cycles so their children could inherit something healthier than what they did. He talked about choosing love, choosing family, choosing a different ending. That mindset may be their anchor now, because this storm isn't just loud, it's layered. There are financial disputes swirling in headlines, political divides pulling celebrities into ideological crossfire, old scandals repackaged for new audiences, former allies turned critics, social media amplifying every whisper into a roar. The Carters exist at a level where success invites scrutiny and silence invites speculation. Every move is analyzed, every pause interpreted, and yet, history offers a pattern. Time and again, they've been counted out, questioned, declared finished, and each time, they've responded not with noise, but with strategy, reinvention, expansion, elevation. Whether this chapter strengthens them or strains them is something only time will reveal. Empires aren't immune to pressure. But they're also not built on fragility. If the past is any indication, betting against Beyoncé and Jay-Z has never been a wise move. Because storms pass, narratives shift, and something about the way they move, deliberate, calculated, unshaken, suggests this isn't an ending. It's just another chapter, and if history has taught us anything, it's this: they're not finished yet.